Hello and welcome to the Advanced Television Academy TV channel again. This morning we're going to be talking about conditional access and digital rights management. Piracy seems to be a subject that's front and centre all the time at the moment. We're speaking in October 2009. But what seems to be mostly talked about is file sharing and downloading of copyrighted material over the internet, and certainly content owners come up with some mind-boggling figures in terms of what they feel they're losing. And it seems that actual straightforward theft, quite often organised theft in terms of pay television, gets overlooked in this debate. This morning we have 4 representatives from the CA DRM industry, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot. As usual, I'm going to have our participants introduce themselves and say a little bit about where their company sits in this sector. So first, Nuruddin.
Thank you, Nick. I'm Nuruddin Hamdan. I'm the Executive Vice President of Strategy and Communication of Viaccess. Viaccess being more than 15 years in the CA business, and myself longer than that. Most of my career was around content protection. Viaccess is having a conditional access system and DRM solution that are deployed on all kind of networks and all kind of devices, ranging from set-top box, of course, but also mobile and PCs and other exciting connected devices to come soon, hopefully.
Andy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andy Nobbs. I'm Chief Commercial Officer of Civolution. Civolution is a relatively new entrant as a company, as a standalone company. It's a watermarking and fingerprinting company, so using and devising content identification technologies to, as we put it, identify content, which thereby enables one to manage content, but actually, of course, the most important thing, to monetize the content. So we're an enabler of media commerce, if you will. So our position really is perhaps tangential to the debate, but I think it's very important nonetheless.
Ola.
Yes, I'm Ola Hansvold. I'm Managing Director of Abel DRM system. Abel DRM is making a conditional access system, DRM systems for DVB and for mobile TV. We believe in card-based systems, so we have a smart card as the security device. We also have chips and micro SD cards. Abel is a new company. We're only 3 years old, but the team as such has more than 20 years experience in pay TV.
Albert.
Good morning, I'm Albert Schulman. I'm a Senior Vice President, Sales and Marketing of Logiways. Logiways has been for a long time a digital TV complex solution integrator, and now we've moved very recently to the conditional access. As a conditional access provider, we released a new one. Well, it's not so new for us because our team was at the beginning of conditional access past 10 years ago in France. So we're in.
Thank you. Okay, let's talk about pay television to start with, and what are the black spots in terms of geography and technically in terms of attack points on CA systems. Nuruddin.
Actually there are several levels of attacks and types of attacks on CA system. It usually starts with hackers, smart hackers somewhere, usually in developed countries, because there are the skills and the means and tools required for cracking such a system. And when these hackers manage to get a break through the system, it starts being bad news for a CA vendor, at least from a reputation point of view. But that's not the worst, because from that point, organized crime, or at least well-structured business corporation exploit that and start spreading over pirate material that end user can use to illegally access pay TV programs. So if we consider more the usage part of it, we can say that Asia is definitely one of the hotbeds of piracy in terms of number of illegitimate users watching pay TV program without being subscribing to. It's about, in some countries, about half of the audience is made from pirates. And based on figures from CASPA, Cable and Association and Satellite Association of Asia, the figures for loss to pay TV piracy were up to some $1.7 billion in 2008 for Asia pay TV market, and that's tremendous. So we still have some challenge to go through, coming from the CA vendor perspectives, and it's not a surprise that Asia, where that is clearly the emerging market, and the growth market for us is also a bad for piracy, because unfortunately in every area where pay TV start to be successful, piracy develop as well.
Andy, I mean, is it always going to be a case of cowboys and Indians? I mean, the faster you shut one pirate down, another one opens up.
I mean, I think our view philosophically is, and maybe we're somewhat different to my peers around the table this morning, but our methodology or our underlying philosophy is, I suspect, somewhat different, which is we don't disable commerce. We don't stop any kind of transaction at all. So our job is actually to record, to identify, if you will, that transaction, so that then the content owner or the platform operator can then do the things they think are appropriate to gain redress. Is it an arms race? It will always be an arms race, I think. But as I said, I think our viewpoint is somewhat different, which is, we're not going to stop stuff happening. We're just going to know when it happens, so that, maybe if my peers can talk about the concept of the analog hole and the issues that provides them as systems operators.
So you're about helping to track down these guys and find out where the content's gone?
We're simply about using technology, in this case watermarking technology, to tell both the content owner and the platform operator when there has been leakage. So that's the kind of negative side of it. But I think also, there is great material benefit, I think, from people knowing when stuff is used, so that you can develop patterns of behavior and consumption patterns, so that you can market your proposition perhaps more meaningfully. So, as I said, we come at this from a slightly different angle, I think.
So, Ulla, I mean, I've met some of them. We know there are lots of kind of brilliant people in conditional access, cryptographers, mathematicians. Millions and millions of dollars are invested in this technology. Yes, because it's organised crime, I'm sure there's millions of dollars on the other side too. But I mean, how come we can't just stop the pirates with the technology?
Historically, we have actually been, I would say, quite successful, but there's new challenges, and so the new challenges these days is that an old attack, which was always known, is to distribute the content decryption keys. This has now become feasible because of the connectivity with people, that they have internet connections that allow them actually to be online to get content decryption keys. So that is an old attack that is now become feasible. Then what is also becoming feasible is to redistribute the content itself. Back in the old days, that was a video cassette game. Now it's becoming a file sharing game, and eventually it will become an online streaming thing that the pirates can put up online.
So once they've stolen it, they can get it out very quickly to...
Yeah. So I would say that we have been quite successful on limiting the piracy on the classical, let's say, signal protection of satellite and cable. Of course, there's always back and forth that sometimes they can penetrate. But when they penetrate, it's often a matter of, I would say, call it security erosion. This happens after maybe 4 or 5 years. And then the operator have had the good 4 or 5 years before that, and he has to then react.
Albert, Logiways is a new player, but actually founded on one of the oldest players, if you like. I mean, I remember one of the first stories I covered was when La Quotidienne published how to break into the old Canal Plus decoder. Does Logiways, I mean, what does it bring, do you feel? That, I mean, one would say perhaps the world didn't need another CA provider. There seem to be quite a few of them around. What does Logiways feel it's bringing in terms of some kind of new philosophy?
That's a tough question, because if I say that we came in the game because we believe that security is not good today, and we can bring something, it's not going to be nice for all of my peers. So that's not a nice way to ask the question, because then we believe that...
I'm sure they can take it.
No, I mean, that's what I feel. I feel it's not an easy question. We came back to what we started with as a team, because we do believe that there is a big war that has started, and you talked about it. We are at a period when it's a free-for-all content because of the internet, of all the sites that we all know, YouTube. It's become everyday life. And people don't understand why they couldn't get a good content or high-quality content for free. At the same time, you have to finance the content, so you have to make it monetized, as our friend said. So we decided to go back to this business because we believe that the security of the conditional access, which is only one part of the subject, is not sufficient in front of what Noedine said, which is hackers, they've got extremely well-equipped laboratories and are founded to just hack the system, because we're talking of, you said it, of billions and billions of euros spent or wasted every year. When you talk of that amount of money, people are going to use a lot of equipments to try to hack everyone. And we recently heard about Koreans who found a way to get the control word directly of most conditional access systems. So it's also from Asia, you said it, but it's from everywhere. So we have to be stronger, and it's we believe that only technology can lead us to security.
So it is a case, I don't know if this translates, but of building a better mousetrap.
Yes.